Good morning, YouTube. It is March the 12th, 2017. Happy Friday. And in about 11 hours, we will be 2 weeks away from VITA no Prince-sama Majilove 6th stage. I know everybody's looking forward to that. I have friends who are fan artists for Heavens that are looking forward to it. I was speaking with one on Twitter briefly. So we're all pumped and jazzed and excited for that. That's not what this video is about, though. This video is about what did we pick up recently from one of my favorite stores called J Street Video Games. Well, we got, and we do have a Mario game, but we got that from Gamestop. We have a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. I am going to start with actually a more modern title that I picked up there for the 3DS. It is Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker. I mistakenly typed this as Code Breaker earlier. I actually do not own the first game in this series. I need to, let me rephrase that. I had it, I need to get it again, and I need to get Strange Journey. Anyone that knows me knows I own every Shin Megami game that came out for the PlayStation 2. Every single one. Persona and otherwise. I am a huge fan of the series. I've never actually beaten one, but I do love the series to death just because anybody knows me knows I'm a very, I'm a person that loves like very dark horror type of series. That's why I like a game like Aoni. To me, that's like true horror, and the stories that they tell with Shin Megami just scares the shit out of me. So, this is the first game that we're going to be showing, and this, of course, is Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker. I do plan on getting the first one again, and I believe there was a 3DS version called Overclocked. I think the original one came out on DS, and I think Overclocked came out on 3DS. Somebody will correct me in the comments, but I'm almost positive on that one. So, there's that game. Now then, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, wow, goddamn. 6 PSP games. The first one is Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles. I'm not sure if I own this one, believe it or not. I think I did at one time when I originally owned my first PSP, which is sitting on my desk. This features Rondo of Blood, which I'm not sure. Somebody will correct me. I don't think we got that game, did we? Or did we? But it was like a really shitty port at one time. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure. And of course, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I have downloaded it when I had the PlayStation 3, but I never actually really got in depth with the game. I need to at some point. I love Castlevania, but here's like my weird history with like some game series like Castlevania. I have played them, I enjoy them, I have never beaten some of them. I have never beaten games in the series. Zelda, one of my favorite game series from when I was a kid. I have never beaten a Zelda game. The closest I've come, believe it or not, is Zelda 2, which is one of the hardest, if not the hardest Zelda game. Breath of the Wild may take that title now. But I've never actually beaten one. Same thing with this series. I've never actually beaten a Castlevania game. And, excuse me, if there was one that I really want to beat, it is Symphony of the Night. But if I beat that, I want to do the full run. So, that's that game. Next up, we have 1, 2, 3 Final Fantasy games, specifically. The first one is the original Final Fantasy 1. Now, I do have the pleasure of saying I have beaten this game. Not this version, but I have beaten this game on the Final Fantasy, I believe it was Final Fantasy Origins disc. I actually beat that on, I want to say it was a PlayStation 3 when I downloaded it. Or was it the PS2? It was one of them. Anyway, I have beaten the original version. I would like to try and beat the PSP version to see if there's any difference. Yeah. This game, when I was a kid, I will tell you this now, my God. Here, I'll put the game down so I'm not looking like a goober. When I beat the original, well, let's go back when I was a kid, rather. When I was a kid and I was playing the original Final Fantasy, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I knew that you were supposed to get something for a witch, but I didn't know where it was. And of course, this was before the strategy guides, and even with the strategy guide, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Because Nintendo's strategy guides back then weren't really strategy guides, they were more, we're going to tell you things, but we're not actually going to tell you how to do them. Which kind of defeats the purpose of a strategy guide. But anyway, this is one of my favorite games, although Final Fantasy VIII, for people that need to know, is legitimately my favorite Final Fantasy of all time, even though I've never beaten that to this day. Then of course we have the original Final Fantasy II, well, the actual Final Fantasy II. I've never beaten this game. I actually, to be perfectly honest, I've never actually played this game. I may have played it for like 5 minutes and then I like stopped for whatever reason. There's supposedly a glitch you can use to like overpower your party. I don't know how it works, and honestly, if I'm going to try and beat this game, I would like to try and beat it straight up. No glitch. I mean, you can make the argument that when you play on an easy mode, that's a glitch, but I don't. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I do want to definitely try and beat this game at some point. Because my goal is to at some point beat the original Final Fantasy II. Now, this one's going to be a fun one. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, one of the side games in the Final Fantasy series, especially the Final Fantasy VII universe. I know two things about this game. Jack and I know it's a this is literally all I know. It is a side story in the Final Fantasy series. I usually do research on these games, but my thing is some of the games I like to go blind. This is one of them. I'm going to play this one. I'm going to beat it at some point, and then I'm going to go and play Final Fantasy VII, which I had on my PS Vita, and then I'm going to actually see, will my opinion actually officially change of a certain person who killed Aerith named Sephiroth. I doubt it, but we'll see. But yeah, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII. Next up, boy, who didn't see this one coming a mile away? If anybody knows me since, goddamn, what was the game? The first Undercover for, or not Undercover, that's the game that we're showing here. That's what I was looking at. Since the first Underground that came out for the PS2, Need for Speed was legitimately one of my favorite racing series. I know most people would say, well, you didn't play the original games. Fine. But a game like this, when you compare it to, say, Gran Turismo, I'll take this over Gran Turismo. Here's one. I have beaten a game in the Need for Speed series, but it wasn't this game. It was The Run. And I enjoyed beating that game. You have no idea how much I enjoyed beating that game. The sad thing is, I don't know if I'll be able to beat this game. Well, we'll see. But I do plan on trying, at least. We'll see how it works out, right? And lastly, but certainly not least, alright, full disclosure, I actually had bought this game off the PS Vita store. The thing was, I actually wanted a physical copy because I believe in the physical media versus digital. This is the original Puzzle Quest, Challenge of the Warlords, not to be confused with Puzzle Quest 2. This game is ruthless. If you... First off, let me explain something to people. If you actually make a wrong match, if you screw up on that, they deduct 5 hit points from you, because it's a puzzle RPG. So you got that issue going on. Then you have to actually beat your opponent, and to do it, you use skulls. Well, the AI likes to try and cheat. And believe me, if you're not leveled properly, or you don't have the proper equipment, you're screwed. Ain't no way around it. But you can also take over towns, and you can build citadels, so that's pretty cool. So it's a puzzle RPG, but there's also some empire building going on in the game, which is awesome. I enjoy it. I think I like this one better than Galactrix. Yeah, there's actually 3 games this series. There's this, Galactrix, and there's Puzzle Quest 2. I've not played Puzzle Quest 2. I have played Galactrix, though. That one, goddamn. This one, you never forget your first, and this one's actually, I think, the better of the 3 games. But somebody in the comments will tell me that Puzzle Quest 2 or Puzzle Quest Galactrix is probably better. This is mine, right here. Anyway, those are the... Oh! I almost forgot. Stupid me. There's one game we have left to show, and it is this one. Now, we all know that I told a story about the fire, the dumpster fire that is E2 Gaming, who recently announced, oh, by the way, after censoring comments and deleting a post about Volume 1, they decided they were going to announce Volume 2 of Taisho Alice. Taisho X Alice. Well, we all know how I feel about that. And I was very, very skeptical about getting another English game. I did buy this one now. This is from our friends at Axis, and this is Period Cube. Hold on. Period Cube: The Shackles of Arcadia. I couldn't read the subtitle for a second. And it is rated M for mature. The hell? The funny thing is, I think the Japanese version is like rated B. But picked this up, and I actually had to go to Gamestop to get it. The funny thing is, I went to Gamestop to get this, and I went to a place, one of my favorite stores called J Street, to pick this up. So, go figure. They did have one PS Vita game that I was looking at J Street. But I didn't actually pick it up. It was... Let's see, do I have it sitting over here real quick? Oh yeah, here it is. They had the Japanese version of this. Now I know I own this version, but every so often I do want to get a set, and I do want to eventually get a set of these two, and I want to get a set now of this game. So these 2 games are my priorities as far as getting Japanese versions. Which, yeah. But anyway, that is our video for this evening. And I hope you enjoyed it. We actually made it under 15 minutes. Holy shit. It's going to snow now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. The next time there will be possibly a pickup video like this will be in June. Yeah, summer months. Well, I say summer. It's been cold as hell around here in New Jersey lately. And it's nearly the middle of May. What the hell? If you live in New Jersey, you know how crazy this weather's been. If you don't, be grateful. Anyway, do me a favor, guys. You all have a great evening, a great morning, and I will talk to you all in the next video. The next time we talk will probably be when the news from 6th stage comes up. So I'll see you then. Take care.